Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Stephanie coming before you today on Wednesday, November 9th, 2016. Today is really important. Today is my wedding anniversary. I've been married for 3 years today. And I just wanted to, as I was reflecting, I'm on my way to pick my husband up from work, but I thought that I would take a minute just to talk to you guys a little bit about, as I've been thinking about my wedding anniversary and what being married has taught me. And I was killing time, so I was walking around looking for something to purchase, and I purchased something for myself, so I can say thank you, husband, for my anniversary present. I went ahead and took care of one of my gifts for him. Anyway, I was thinking about being married, this being our 3rd year, and a lot of the things that we have gone through in these 3 years. And just to let you guys know and to give you just some insight about me. This is my first marriage, so I'm not divorced. I have an older daughter. She's 20. And so, and then my husband and I have a son together, and he's 1.5. So, this is, like I said, this is my first marriage. And so, I remember desiring to be married. I wanted to be married so bad, and for years, and I resented, as the years went on and I grew older, I resented people that were getting married around me. I wanted to be married so bad, and I believe I was 39. Yes. Yeah, I was getting ready to turn 40 when I got married. And I was 39. I turned 39 the year that I got married. And so, I was older. It was my first marriage. I'm 6 years older than my husband. And so, everything was new, but I thought that I knew about myself until I got married. And one thing that up until this point that marriage has taught me was how very much I was focused on myself. And especially in the fact that I had been single for so long. So I think naturally, just as humans, we are totally self-absorbed with ourselves. Everything is about how we feel and what we want and what we want to do and say and be regarding ourselves. And I wanted so much to share my life with somebody. And then when God blessed me with a husband and I entered into that marriage, there was a spotlight and there was a magnifying glass on just how selfish and self-absorbed I was. I think we all are. I'm not saying that my husband wasn't, but I'm talking about me right now. I'm self-absorbed. I'm talking about me. But how much I was focused, and how you have to reprogram your mind and your thought process to begin to focus on the other person. And it has been a journey. We have, in our 3 years, we have gone through a lot. And, I know people seem sometimes, and married people, they can get super dramatic, right? And until you married, you won't know. And I used to get really angry. Because if you're not married, I used to hear all the time from married people, if you are not married, then you wouldn't understand. And I used to be like, okay. But there are, in a lot of instances, that is definitely true, because I did not understand the magnitude of marriage and what that commitment meant. And basically, you are committing to dying to yourself and becoming something new that's connected. The two definitely do become one, and that's definitely a process. And I'm reflecting on all of this because I think that finally, my husband and I have not arrived. So let's just be clear. We haven't arrived where we are just completely selfless, and everything that we say and do is for the benefit of the other. But I believe that what we have is an understanding that is an important and vital part of making our marriage work. And he has really taught me how to love, what the process of loving unconditionally is. And I believe that a lot of times, especially as parents, we think that we are loving unconditionally because the way that we love our children. But I think that that's almost like a given. And of course, I know that there's people out there that they aren't perfect parents, and they do some really jacked up stuff to kids. My daughter, in jest, I play around and I call her my starter kid, right? And so, as a starter kid, I'm sure that she felt as if I probably could have done some things a lot better than I did, but I did love her, so I wasn't a perfect parent. However, we feel like being a parent is what the picture of unconditional love is. But when you have no DNA ties to a person and you are committed to them, we're committed with it's a given that you're going to take care of them, right? But when you make the conscious effort to commit to somebody, that's a big deal. It's a huge deal. And again, it's a reflection. I talked to you about like some of these things that have gone on in my life, because they've definitely been a part of my process and my evolution, because everything has always been about me becoming more self-aware and just realizing how many areas I needed help. And one of those was learning how to love. And when I was honoring my husband today, I realized how much he taught me how to love unconditionally, and what unconditional love looks like, because my husband is not perfect. I always say he's not perfect, but he's perfect for me. And he's just taught me about really stretching yourself in an uncomfortable area. My husband definitely is not the type that is really into his feelings and really in touch with his feelings. So me, who I'm uber sensitive to my feelings, I like to talk about a lot of stuff. I'm very open and have a lot of dialogue. That's the type of family that I grew up with. So that's sort of what we do. My mother and my father, we talked about everything, right? And so that's definitely not where my husband come from. But stretching himself in that area, really pushing himself, because it is something that I need to be able to communicate, and really touching those areas that we don't really want to touch and we really don't want to examine. But I honor him in that way, that I too have been pushed and stretched to get outside of myself. I'm not a single child, but I grew up a single child. So I definitely can lean on the side of being absorbed. And so in making things all about me, I do it in jest. And I think also sometimes it can come across and it's just a natural way that I am. And so really because everything that my husband does, even when it's not perfect and right, he does to try to please me. And I'm in a place and space now where I really appreciate that effort, and it's the effort. And as we're getting to know one another, and I'm saying that we're still getting to know one another, like we are at a place now where we really want to know each other better and on a deeper level, because it was just working out the kinks these past 3 years. I mean, getting used to, like the basic everyday, pick your towel up off the floor and don't leave your socks shoved down in the couch, husband. Okay, so those things that you have to get over that seem like a big deal. And they seem like a big deal to me. And there's a lot of people out there that be like, oh, I wouldn't make a big deal out of that. You don't know what you'll make a big deal out of until you get in that situation and somebody is in your space. Somebody has come into your space, and every routine, every thought process, every idea that you have is challenged. Everything that you swear that you live by, every creed inside that you didn't even know was a creed, didn't even know that you lived by, didn't even know that was a rule that you've established for yourself, those things come to the surface. And through all of that muck and mire, we made it to 3 years, and I am grateful, and I appreciate him just coming on the journey with me. And so when, we are, you can give people that are engaged or thinking about getting married, you can give them advice until you're blue in the face. But until you get in the situation, you're not prepared. You're not prepared for what you're about to embark on, what that journey that you're about to go on. You're not prepared. It's good to glean from wisdom. It's good to glean from people that have experience, but I'm telling you, until you actually get in the process, but you have to be willing to be in the process. That's just the bottom line. The process for every couple is going to be different. There are some connecting similarities, but people are different. And this is my experience. My experience is this. Most couples are alike in so many ways. You find that really you are marrying your doppelganger. That's just my little observation. I'm very observant, and so I pick up little things and nuances. I observe them in my own life, and I examine. My husband says I'm always trying to study something or someone, right? And but I can't help it. It's my nature. But as I look around at other couples that are around me and just what I experienced, and even my parents, like I was able, when I sort of kind of got the theory, when the Lord gave it to me, I was like, hey. And then I started thinking about my own parents and realized how much they were alike. And the things that caused them to bump heads or that were areas of contention were the things that were the most alike about them. So, and my husband and I found that was definitely something that we shared. And for him and I, myself included, when we figured that we were more alike than we were different, I was way more accepting, but my husband at first did not want to hear that. Because he couldn't be like me, right? Because everything that he didn't like about me was totally terrible, right? But he found that, he did some of the same things. So I thought that was interesting. That, most of the time we are very much alike. We're very much like our spouses. Areas that we're weak, especially our weaknesses. I think that our weaknesses seem to be the same, but it's what we end up resenting in one another. And so I found that interesting, but able also to transcend that and coming from a place of empathy and sympathy and forgiveness and mercy when you can see yourself. And so that's why I said these 3 years have been me really seeing myself and just desiring to love my husband, not for who he is, but love who he is. So I'm I don't even know. I don't even have words. I think it's because I'm so excited that we're at this place, and I'm not in a hurry to get to another place, but I have expectancy for that new season, for this new place that we're going to arrive to, because we have gotten over this set of humps and bumps, and we did it together through it all. I mean, it has been, in not all of it, but in some cases, a pretty tumultuous 3 years. But I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. And I'm learning me. And now that I'm seeing me with honest eyes. Seeing me and understanding me, not just understanding me, but being cognizant that I want to be better, and for myself. And I know that in turn, it pays off for my husband, and that we can then grow together as a couple. And we want to live that example out for our son and for my daughter. She's 20, so she has to be able to see what that looks like, not tell you what it looks like. And so, my experience is for her, and for my grandchildren. I hope no time soon. Don't make me a grandma. Sheesh. Anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts today, just a little bit about marriage in general on my 3rd anniversary. God has been so good to us, and He has blessed us. He has kept us. He kept our marriage. I give God all the glory for that. He has kept us in the midst of the storm. He has kept us in perfect peace. We have not always been peaceful, but God has kept us in perfect peace. That's for sure. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to love my husband better. That's what I'm excited about today. I've already shared that with him, so I'm safe to share it with you guys. And I'm grateful for a husband that supports me doing what I'm doing right now, and that's talking to you guys and sharing my thoughts and ideas. He's behind me 100%. Again, showing each other how to be selfless and how to love one another through growth and through the whole process. I just appreciate every moment of it. So you guys take care. If you're married, love your husband, love your wife today. Appreciate them. Give them a hug and a kiss and tell them how much you love them. I love. All right. Amen. So I will be talking to you soon. I love you all.